Hello everyone, we are from Group 2. On this occasion, we will be presenting about our IT services. It's called Next Compute, so let's get started. First, we will introduce ourselves. From me, I'm Bagus, Ananda Putraditya, and my colleagues.
I am Putu Rajendra Pradiptayudha.
My name is Putra Satya Giridharma.
My name is Lintang Hilmi Mumtaz Surath.
My name is Kadek Pande Putra Ananta.
Okay, so that's Group 2. Well, let's get started from Part 1, Problem and Proposed IT Services. So what is the problem that we're trying to solve? In this day and age of AI, many organizations wanted to implement AI or machine learning to leverage their business. Many face difficulties because they lack specific expertise and resources required to implement AI or machine learning in their organization. Our solution is called Next Compute. It's an AI computing services. The core services consist of 4 services. The first one is consulting services, and then implementation services, managed services, and advisory services. All these services are correlated to an AI or machine learning in an organization implementation. This is our BMC for Next Compute, starting from the market segments. It's from tech company, AI startup, etc., etc. And then the key partners, starting from cloud providers and technology partners, investor, etc., etc. The key resources that we need to run our business: KMS, knowledge management system, a team of AI or ML infrastructure experts, etc., etc., etc. And then the key activities, the services that we're doing is the key activities of our organization, from AI or machine learning infrastructure consulting services, implementation services, managed services, and advisory services. The customer relationship, long-term partnership, real-time dashboard for clients, etc., etc. Channels, website and AI educational content, technology partners, etc., etc. Value proposition. So what are the value that we are delivering to our customer? We are specialized in AI or machine learning infrastructure consulting and management services. We are optimal and cost-effective on our AI architecture design, etc., etc. And then cost structures, the cloud infrastructure costs, the platform and tools development, etc., etc. And then revenue streams, all the fees from our services on the consulting, managed services, implementation and migration, advisory, and paid training services. So those are our BMC for Next Compute. Next one is the utility and warranty of Next Compute.
Okay, so according to the ITIL Foundation, every IT services must provide value to its customer. This value is created through two core components, utility and warranty. Utility represents the functionality of a service, of what the service does and how it helps users achieve their desired outcomes. In the other hand, warranty represents the assurance that the service will perform as expected on how reliably and securely it delivers the promised results. For Next Compute, AI computing consulting and management services, the utility reflected through its ability to support client performance through efficient and scalable AI infrastructure, and then eliminate technical barriers for organizations lacking AI or machine learning expertise, and then lastly enable data-driven decision making through performance monitoring and cost optimization. And and then the warranty is maintained through those following key aspects. The purpose of availability is to ensure a client that consistently access their AI environment, capacity to prevent system overload and maintain service responsiveness. Continuity is to minimize downtime and ensure service continuity during incidents. And lastly, security to protect client data integrity and prevents unauthorized access. Next will be explained by my colleague.
Okay, now part 3 is 7 guiding principle implementations. There is a 7 guiding principle starting from the focus on value. So the core concept of focus on value is everything must map to value for stockholders. So for the implementations, Every service must solve client's business problem. For example, it's not audit your system, but identify ways to reduce AI training that costs by up to 30%. That's for example. And then there is every proposal and SLA linked to measurable outcomes such as cost saving, faster time to market, and performance improvement. Second, there's a start where you are. The core concept is leverage what is already available. So the implementation is leverage partnership with NVIDIA and existing cloud infrastructure to save time and development costs while enabling us to launch faster with a proven reliability. And then there is the third, the progress iteratively with feedback. The core concept of it is don't attempt everything at once. Use feedback at each iteration. So the implementations is uh, phase interactions module, assessment at each stage, the feedback collected for the improvement, and hands-on sessions for adaptive learning. And then the fourth, there is a collaborate and promote feasibility. The core concept of it is working together, produce greater buy and long-term success. So for the implementations is the part of the collaboration with clients, the capacity planning 6 to 12 months for the roadmap, and then the real-time dashboard, infrastructure status, performance, and cost tracking. And then there is a quarterly business review meetings. And then for the part of the partnership, so we partnership with the NVIDIA, OS, and Microsoft, and then we add some full transparency with the partnership, and then the active collaboration, not just for the service delivery. And then there's a think and work holistically. There's four dimensions of it, which is the organization and people. It's for training and onboarding for client team capabilities. And then second is information and technology, strategy, tech planning integrated with business. And then the three, the part and suppliers, vendor management as unified ecosystem. And then the fourth is value streams and process, the budget management covering total cost of ownership. The result is all component work seamlessly for integrated business value. And then the sixth, there is a keep it simple and practical. Keep it simple and practical. So the core concept of it is use minimum steps, outcome based thinking. The implementations is onboarding focus questionnaires, not just for the 50-page form. And then there's a service levels. So there's only three levels of the subscribe, maybe the basic, the pro, and enterprise. And then there's a documentation, practical guides, not a hundreds of a page manuals. And then there's a pricing, transparent per project or monthly subscription. And the last is optimize and automate. So the core concept of it is optimize before the automate. There is a phase to approach. Phase one, the manual, year one, establish process, collect data, and understand patterns. Phase two, optimize, year two, streamline workflow and eliminate bottleneck. And for the phase three, automate. In the year three, automate only proven and optimize process. And then there's a self-service portal for standard requests. And next is the priorities of 7 guiding principles. So each of the priorities has the short, middle, and long. So for the first one, focus on value, short term. As a newcomer in the GPU computing market, Next Compute must immediately prove its value proposition to survive. Without demonstrating a clear value, there will be no client. Every service, consulting, managed service, and training must directly address the client pain points with measurable outcomes from day one. And then there is a start where you are. It is also the short-term priority levels. Why this matters? Because its time to market is critical for the startup survival. It can take building from the scratch takes like 12 or 18 months. So we leverage existing resource to enable the launch, enable the launch between 3 or 60 months. And then it also saves development costs to reduce risk too. And then third, keep it simple and practical. It also short-term priority. because of the complexity and early stage, the simplicity enables rapid executions and essential for efficient scalability. And then from the middle priority, it is progress iteratively and feedback. Why this middle priority? Because once service are operational, continuously improvement becomes necessary, and client feedback and operational data inform next iteration and enable rapid adaptation to market needs. And then we going to collaborate and promote feasibility. This is also the middle priority. So why this matter? Because the strong partnership and transparency build trust, and also the value cooperation becomes competitive and differentiations. And yes, it also requires established relationship to implement effectively. And then we go to long-term priority. It is a think and work holistically. So why this comes later? Because it requires operational data to understand component interaction, and it needs experience to see how all the pieces fit together. And yeah, and we go to the optimize and automate. It's also long term. Why is those? This is the last? It's because the perimeter automation creates expensive technical debt and must optimize workflow before it automating them. And it requires mature process and sufficient data. So it needs a lot of data uh, to reach this step, and also the wrong to automate broken processes. Okay, next material will be explained by my friends.
All right, so I'm gonna explain about the info parties. So what are the info parties? Those who has the role within the organization, those who has the interest, or those who affected by the provisions and management of the IT services are considered to be the involved parties. So in the nutshells, those who has the interest, those who has the impact with the organization are considered to be the involved parties. There are two types of the involved parties. The internal one are those who has the role within the organization. For example, the CEO, CTO, head of infrastructure, DevOps engineer, and custom manager are considered to be the internal parties. And then those who are on external parties, those who are from the outside of the organizations that gives impact to the organizations are, are for example, the clients or the customers, the end users or independent users, the sponsor or investor, and the regulators and auditors. Within the external info parties, they give the service value for the organizations. All right, next one.
Okay, this the ratio chart. So the ratio chart is used to clarify the roles and responsibility for of each parties involved in an IT services project, especially for our organization. So this model ensures there's no confusing during task execution, and that each process runs efficiently with clearly distributed responsibility. So here in this chart, we divide the roles into the 5 roles, which is project manager, project sponsor, AI or ML expert consultant, technical team, and client organization. So for the activities, we create 9 activities, which is define services, goals, and scope, assess AI infrastructure requirements, design AI architecture, develop implementation plan, set up and configure infrastructure, conduct staff training, implement manage services, mentoring and security, provide advisory and optimization services, and the last, evaluate project success and final approval. So that's for the Rachi chart. Next.
Okay, so the last part is IT services benchmarking. So now on this slide, there are multiple competitors that are present in the AI or machine learning consulting space. So there are several, such as Quantify, Rackspace Technology, Wipro, Accenture, and TensorOps. So these are all our competitors in the AI or machine learning infrastructure space. And then what differentiate between us and those competitors? So Next Compute value proposition is Next Compute is a specialist in AI or machine learning infrastructure development, implementation, and management. Next Compute offers deeper, more focused expertise in AI or machine learning infrastructure and provide what's best for the clients. Next Compute's ultimate goal is strategic optimization and performance, not just maintenance of existing AI infrastructure. So if I just go back here, some of these competitors are a generalist. They are not a specialist in AI or machine learning infrastructure technology. We, as Next Compute, are the specialists in that, so we have a deeper understanding of that infrastructure. And then some of these competitors also only manage, not implement or develop the AI infrastructure itself. So we fill those gaps. So we can create, where we can develop, we can implement. We have consulting services also, and we can manage all those infrastructure for the client. So we fill in those gaps. So that's our value proposition for Next Compute. And then the next one is SWOT analysis. So what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for Next Compute? The strength of Next Compute is an unbiased vendor selection, a focused niche, agility and flexibility, and high-value service model. And then the weaknesses, a narrow service scope. As we said, we are specialized in AI and machine learning only. Other than that, we are not specialized in that. And then limited marketing reach because of our specialized nature. And then the opportunities. The opportunities is a massive market growth because of the AI boom right now, vendor lock-in fatigue, expertise gap, and complex technical implementation of AI and machine learning infrastructure. And then the last one is the threats. So the threats are competition from sustained competitors, clients building in-house AI team, and similar new and upcoming startups. So other companies can start a new startup that are similar to us in the AI and machine learning scope. And then the TOES analysis. So based on that SWOT analysis, what can we do? What are we going to do based on that SWOT analysis? So we do that in the TOES analysis. The first one is S&O, the strength and opportunity. What can we do based on that? The first one is capitalize on the growing AI market by offering more in-depth specialist AI or machine learning infrastructure services. And then we can offer an independent solutions and unbiased recommendation for the clients. And lastly, we can partner with AI startups requiring fast and managed infrastructure. And the next one is WO, the weaknesses and the opportunity. What can we do about that? We can do partnerships with cloud vendors such as AWS, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, etc., to reach our broader segment. And then we can develop complementary services such as lightweight development models to complement service portfolio without losing focus. The next one is S&T, strength and threats. What can we do about that? We can offer a long-term partnerships and co-creation models to our clients to prevent them from building their own internal teams. And then we can leverage the value proposition of managed services and consulting to compete with new startup competitors. And the last one for the TOES analysis is W&T. What can we do about our weaknesses and threats? We can focus on clients with specific AI infrastructure need to avoid direct competition with generalists like Accenture, for example. And then lastly, we can enhance the differentiation of our product through strategic advisory services and transparent dashboards to retain our clients. So that's the IT services benchmarking for Next Compute. And that is it for our Next Compute IT services. So we added two things from our previous assignment, from assignment 1 and 2. We added the BMC, which I will show you. We will show you. We added the BMC, and we added the TOS analysis, which is the continuation of SWOT analysis. This is based on the SWOT analysis. So basically, what are we going to do based on the SWOT analysis? So we added two things, BMC and TOS analysis. And that is it for our presentation on Next Compute. Thank you. Cheers. Peace. Bye-bye. Peace.